Hello, I'm back with you. Well, the sun is completely up now. I had a neighbor come up. His name is Clay. He was a little anxious. He has to have oxygen to live on, and he sleeps in his car to charge his batteries because we're out of electricity right now. And then he had an inverter go out. And so he's going to try his best to get somewhere where he can get an inverter, so because oxygen, is sort of important to people. But he has Agent Orange, and so he deals with that all the time. He has it in his lungs, and so he and I talked for a while, and he was a prisoner of war. It's just amazing the different lives, people have led and have had, and I have a great deal of respect for him. He tries his best to do everything on his own. Yesterday we were cleaning up, and the park just asked if people would clean their own area up, and I mean we don't have areas. This is our area right there, and so just rake it, and so we don't really have big areas, but he was trying to rake that, and I asked him, I said, I know you like to do things on your own. Like I saw him climbing on top of his rig yesterday. But I said, can I help you with this? And he, breathing real hard, he just sort of shook his head yes. And so I was able to go over there and help him with that. And I have a great deal of respect for the fact that he just doesn't cave to this Agent Orange that he has, and just let everybody do everything for him. He does, really try hard to do it himself, at least first, before he asks for help. And I don't think he asks for help very often, which can be stubborn, so it's a fine line. Anyway, that gave me a chance. He and I talked for a while, and that gave me a chance then to go inside and get my coffee. And you say, oh, how do you get coffee when you don't have electricity? Well, for some of you that don't know, I mean, you're creative. Like Clay was just saying that he just poured hot water over his regular coffee pot and made coffee that way. There's also another way, and many of you know this, but there's some of you that don't, and I didn't know about this until a few years ago, but it's called a French coffee press. And there's also another one called a Brazilian coffee press. Exact same thing. I don't know why they're called different things. But seeing that we're Brazils, our last name is Brazil, we call this a Brazil press. And you put your coffee grounds in, and then you pour hot water over it. And you can see, I don't know if you can see the coffee grounds all over the place. And then you just press it down. And all of that is good coffee right there. It works great for tea. This ain't quite ready, so I'm going to pull it back up. Works great for tea as well. So that's your French or Brazilian coffee press. And so my mug's sitting there waiting, creamer in it, just anxiously waiting for the coffee to be ready. But I just wanted to tell you some things, David. It is 10 till 7, I think. David and Tom, his best friend, sorry, I gotta turn my little alarm off. Evidently it's 7 instead of 10 till. David and his best friend Tom runs the place. This is my husband. And say hey, David. Hey, Tom runs bye, babe. Tom runs this place. He manages it, and so they are already at it. They went out this morning. I'm not sure why they went out. I think maybe just to get cash. Cash is very valuable right now because they don't take cards when you don't have electricity, and so all he could get was 200, and that's and we're very fortunate that he was able to get 200. But he said, not that we're going to spend it because it's so crazy out there, you're not going anywhere. And so he said already 6 o'clock this morning, cars were lined up at the gas stations, and it's just crazy. So we're just staying put, and fortunately I do Optavia, and Optavia is a diet plan. And so you eat these bars during the day, and then you have a lean and green at night. And fortunately, I may not be able to eat my lean and greens so much because the greens are fading quickly. during this, but I can have my fuelings during the day, and so which leaves more food for those that are not can't get the food right now. But anyway, so I'll get at it in a little while and help pick up. It's just tons and tons of we have these one beautiful, gorgeous angel oak trees, and they're just beautiful, but they also leave a big mess, and this is like not really even a mess right here, but a lot of limbs came down. I made a pile probably about as tall as I am. I'm 5'9", and I made a huge pile yesterday of just sticks and limbs and debris and picking all that up. But we are very fortunate. A hurricane hit Lake Charles a couple of weeks ago. The next day it was 100 degrees. They had a chemical plant on fire, and so they were telling people to go inside, close the windows and doors, and turn their AC off. It's 100 degrees in Louisiana, and if you've never experienced it, it is nothing you want to experience. It is humid, like swimming through water humid, and you can't breathe. The air is so heavy, and you've just been through a hurricane. And if you have air conditioning, they're telling you to turn it off, but they're telling you to go inside because the air outside is not fit to breathe. So I think that we can take, I think it's maybe 75 today, overcast. I'll take today. And so we're very grateful for the condition that we're in. We're going to stay put as much as possible. I do have a friend that is downtown, and I worry about him because it's, I don't want things to get too crazy. Yesterday we heard a lot of ambulances or a lot of sirens, and kept wondering what in the world is all that about. And fortunately, we found out they're just moving linemen. They're just escorting linemen, which I'm very grateful for. Those mostly men. I've not seen too many women, but mostly men have, tough. That's a tough job. They're leaving their family to go to very dangerous situations. I understand that we have National Guard here. That the National Guard is armed and they are protecting things. Which I'm grateful for. I had a friend of mine that was in Katrina, and she ran a hospital. She quickly turned into the CEO because she was the COO or CFO, financial officer, and she turned into CEO because he didn't show up. At a hospital, it's mandatory. Employees show up. You spend the night. You stay there. That's part of the contract you sign. That's the deal. Yeah, from the maintenance person to the dishwasher to the laundry person to the CEO, you show up. Anyway, she became the CEO overnight, and during Katrina, she had blood, and another hospital had something that they needed, and so she transported blood to this hospital, and she was under armed guard, to do that because that would be something very valuable to have during a crazy time. But anyway, I don't think we're anything like that. I don't think that it's anything dangerous. I have not heard of robberies or, oh, sorry, got a little bee that's liking me. Sorry about that. I don't think it's anything like that. I think they're just, prepared, helping clean up. And we are thankful for him. My little bee wants my coffee is what he wants. He's liking my creamer. Okay, you need to go away. But anyway, we're just grateful, and I think God's timing is hilarious, though. It really is. After 4.5 years, we were days away from looking at some property in Tennessee, and David woke me up in the middle of the night and said, or it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and said, look at this, and showed me this little house that we're gonna buy. It's a little farm. It's 3.5 acres. It's small, But at our stage of life, it's probably the best size. It's small enough that I could even take care of it by myself. It's 3.5 acres. It's a nice house. It's solid. We've talked to the realtor that's talked to their realtor that talked to the homeowner and said that nothing happened to it where that area, it got hit just as hard as we did. It's 27 miles inlet from the ocean, but 27 miles in squat. We're 15 miles in. And they had a lot of flooding around them. There's water all around. There's lakes and rivers and creeks and all of that. It all floods. Everything floods. Standing water. Everything floods. But from our information so far, the house is fine, and so we are very grateful for that. We are looking forward to it there. We've got so many plans for that little farm. That house is adorable. There are touches I want to put on it to make it our own, but they have renovated it to a point that I don't know what it looked like before when they got it, but they've renovated it to a point that I think is very attractive. It has a black and white kitchen. It's mainly white with some black, like the countertop's black and the trim. And we've always been warm colored people. So it'll be interesting to see how I can pull those colors together and what I can do to figure out that. But that's fun. That's the fun part of it. But anyway, I'm getting to where I'm just rambling now. So I'm going to get off here. And, but I just wanted to invite you to my YouTube channel and watch this journey as it goes forward. I sort of wish that I had videotaped all these years living in that RV. It's been good to us. I love the design of it. It's cute. We like the small living. I miss cooking, being in a proper kitchen and cooking. I could do it there. I just ended up cussing more than enjoying it. Just because it's just tough. And while this house is bigger than we said we wanted, I'm looking forward to spreading out a little bit and having people over. I've already got people planning on coming down and visiting, and that will be nice. I like having people over and visiting, and that's one reason we've enjoyed this little RV park. It is so adorable and so cute. Vince and Dee have done a good job with it, and Tom and Bill, do a good job with it here, and so we're gonna miss it, but it's a different stage of life now. And anyway, I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day.